Welcome to the Gentleman's Prologue. We've got a special guest, Sarah Wolfe.
Hi.
Welcome. So I know you're a photographer, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a photographer mostly in the Seattle area, but I travel worldwide if possible. I do mostly influencers, like fashion bloggers, content creation, and I also do weddings and family portraits, events, and stuff like that.
And we've actually worked with Sarah before. We did a shoot about a year ago now.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Excellent photos.
Mall shopping.
Yeah. Shopping experience.
Yeah.
Well, you've been working a lot with influencers, right? Tell us a little bit about your experience working with Seattle bloggers and influencers. You know, what are some of the things that you look out for that you notice when you're working with them?
Well, let's think. I'm always looking for locations. Like constantly, I drive around and if I see a really pretty wall or a really cool new coffee shop or something, I definitely lock it in my brain that I'm that'll be really fun to shoot at with a local blogger or something. It really depends on the influencer style and stuff.
Right.
I guess some of them are super editorial and they want the crazy locations with the crazy poses, and then some girls have a little more toned down blog vibe and they want just cute outfit, cute wall, easy peasy, and both are right. There's no wrong way to do it. So it kind of depends on what the client's looking for.
Well, there's a big established girl blogger community here in Seattle, and I think they all do an excellent job with the photography. So location is definitely key, and then getting those poses down, getting the high quality shots.
Oh yeah, they all have their own poses. It's really funny. Sometimes if I shoot with two of them, as a joking exercise, I'll try to ask the other one, I'll ask them to switch to their poses. Because, and I look stupid doing any of their poses.
Right.
I couldn't, the things these girls do that look freaking adorable, that I'm what do you, it's so perfect. Each girl, I swear, has their own pose that they always go to.
When you're shooting with an influencer, do you find that most of the time you're helping out with the direction, or do lots of the bloggers know themselves what they want to do?
I think there's a good handful who don't even need direction at all. They just bam, bam, bam. Especially ones I work with regularly, they don't need much direction. There are some girls that I'll be this is the idea that I have, with the more editorial ones, and that will be a little bit more of me being okay, now do this. But some girls have really specific needs for their blogs. They need certain amounts of horizontal, certain amounts of detail shots, certain amounts of sorry guys, certain amounts of just whatever they need. So that's a little more check the boxes to make sure that we have each thing. But most of the girls are down for having a little bit of adventurous time because on Instagram you want to get them to stop scrolling.
Right.
That's they need that jaw-dropping photo.
Yeah.
So I think that there needs to be more of a balance sometimes between just checking off the boxes of your normal blog post, but you have to have that wow, that's a damn good photo.
Yeah.
So pricing, how do you figure out what your pricing is?
That's a difficult question to I feel it's not controversial, but there's two ways to do it.
Okay.
And I think that both ways are right, but it just depends on how you want to work.
Yeah.
There's the one that I think a lot of people do, which is by the hour. So you will hire the photographer for the hour and bring how many ever outfits you want, and then they edit those and give them back to you. And then what I do is I do it by the outfit.
Okay.
So and I usually tell them I can get 4 to 5 outfits in an hour. I can do it faster. If you are I only got 30 minutes, we can get it done. But it really just depends how much you want to create your images. Do you want just outfit shots, or do you want, again, the image that's going to stop people?
Right.
Which I think is kind of what everyone should be aiming for, in my opinion, all the time. If you're posting it, the whole point is you want people to see it.
Yeah.
So you have to stand out.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think for men it's almost easier in Seattle because there's not as many of you guys. So you're going to stand out regardless.
Right.
Because oh, it's a guy.
Yeah.
But so I guess back to the hourly versus the outfit one. So I'm always hesitant to do the hourly one because I'm always worried that they'll come with 8 or 9 outfits.
Right.
Which I could do, but I feel we're just then creating, super fast. We're not really being creative. We're not really getting to create fun, beautiful images or whatever you need. And so I get the appeal of that from the influencer's point of view. You're trying to get all your looks for the month in or something. So I guess it goes.
Also, depending on if we're working with the brand, right? If they want certain outfits. And also, like, it's hard the pricing thing is hard, because for an influencer, sometimes the budget is tight, with the brand that we're working with, so we're obviously looking at, what's the best rates for the photographer, but then we get it, like, as a photographer, you have to do it the right way.
Well, there's also the after editing. So it's like if I say I deliver 15 to 20 images each outfit, and you bring 8 outfits, that's a lot more images than if I just had 4 outfits in that hour.
Yeah.
So it's also, you have to think of like how much is your time worth. And for bloggers, I do have my rates like a little bit lower than my like weddings or portraits, because I do know a lot of these like women they're just starting. Like, they're not working with brands half the time. Like, a lot of these girls are paying like out of pocket to begin with, and so I don't want to like. And they're all like young and cute, and I don't want to like make them break the bank. And I feel like if they're hiring me consistently, it adds up after time.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I forgot about that. Pet peeves. What is your biggest pet peeve?
I like pet peeves in general. Like, I have them. Being on time is a good one, because it's like we're all busy.
Right.
No one has time to be late. Obviously, like, things happen. A little bit, like, I know this is like a controversial one, but I don't love filters on photos. Like, I always have influencers ask me, can I edit your photo a little? And I usually am like, go for it, but I always am like, I think mine looks better.
Right.
Because in my opinion, you're selling clothes. I was going to mention, you did the poll, where you asked if people liked your edited photo versus your original photo, and I think most people voted for the original.
Which I was surprised about.
Which both look good.
Yeah,
and I voted for the original, but I always feel like I want to know like what you're wearing, like, and what it looks like. I don't want to go to the website and see a different color. So I feel like I try to keep my editing as true to colors. But also that way, I keep it super simple editing, because if you add a filter on top of my editing, it just starts to look like...
Does that happen a lot?
Oh my gosh, yeah, all the time.
People do that?
I've actually had clients who have edited photos so much that I've had other people send them to me and be like, what did they do to your photo?
Oh my God.
And sometimes I always just think that all of these, it looks good now maybe, but like in 6 months, I don't think they're gonna like the trend they're doing now. And then they'll switch to a new trend.
Right.
And then in a year, you're gonna be like, we're all gonna look back at our Instagram and be like, what were we doing?
Yeah.
Like, don't you already feel like, remember when it first came out and it had the weird frames? And we're all like, why do we put frames around all these photos?
Right, yeah.
So I just am like, true colors is my vibe.
Yeah.
I think it's the best way to go. I mean, especially you're selling clothes.
Right.
And then I feel like those are the two. I guess like the free collaborations still kind of get to me.
Oh, right,
but that I feel like that's like a dead horse almost at this point. Everyone knows. But yeah, just reaching out and asking me to do the job for free with no real.
Well, that one is actually a good topic to talk about, because as an influencer that is starting out, obviously we're tight with budgets. For me, I've been doing it for a little while, so I always ask the photographer what the rate is. But then you also have photographers that are new into the influencer space or the fashion world, right? So they're trying to actually shoot influencers for free and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I like to find influencers that I work with consistently, because they know my style.
Photographers.
I work with influencers.
I try to stick with the same photographer almost every time, because they know my style, and now at this point I do it real quick. I don't need to be doing it for an hour.
I do feel like it is fine to start off like offering your work for free, because you are like, you maybe don't know how, like, doing portrait photography versus doing outfit photography is so different. Like, you need to make sure that you're getting like the outfit details and like making sure that you're getting the full look, not just like your portrait. And I find that transition for portrait photographers is often difficult sometimes, because it doesn't seem like it should be different, but it is. When I first started doing it, it was definitely free. I didn't know I could make money doing it, and somebody reached out for me with my rates, and I was like, I should probably just do that. And I like literally faked it till I made it, and was like, well, this is what I charge, and then kind of like tested the waters.
Yeah, no, that's what you gotta do. That's right. But you built your portfolio up, so.
And I do, if I offer, like if I reach out to an influencer and I'm asking them to help me with a project, I will give them outfit photos at the same time. So like, if I have like a store client who needs like photography for their website, and I need like a girl to wear the clothes, I will then give them outfit shots in exchange for the photos that they're modeling.
How about like for a person that is a photographer or trying to be a photographer and get into influence, taking photos of influencers? Do you have any insight or anything that you could tell them to like?
I would just like message the influencers that you really like and ask them if they would model for you because they want the photos. Like
Right.
influencers would love to have the free photos. I would suggest asking somebody who already has like a good size following, like not a huge one, but like who already knows like what they're doing, so that way both of you kind of have an idea of what to do. Because if you know nothing about shooting influencers and the influencer knows nothing about a photo shoot, you're kind of both going into it blind.
When do you start charging money after maybe the free photos?
I guess it's kind of a personal choice.
Yeah.
I felt like I waited way too long. I would say after you've done like 3 or 4, like just start charging, you know, if you feel like you're doing a good job, you know, like if you're feeling like your work is, like if you're getting everything they need and stuff like that. And I would say the hardest part is transitioning those free clients to I definitely had clients who I used to shoot free who never hired me after I started charging.
Yeah, so you would just bring it up? Because actually what I've done a couple of times with someone is like I'd be shooting a few times with a photographer for free.
Yeah.
And then I will say to them, you know, I want to keep using you, like, what are your rates? I actually brought it up a couple of times.
And they're probably like, what?
Yeah.
Is that an
and
option?
they're like, okay. But I usually will tell them, like, you know, this is ballpark what my budget is usually, or this is what I'm paying other photographers. But I do believe in compensating the photographers. But you probably never hear about that influencers actually go, like, ask them, what do you charge?
I've had a few really good clients who, like, like I said earlier, I charge a really low rate. Not really low, but, like, I charge, like, a good rate for bloggers. Because, again, they're all working for themselves. Like, we're all in this, like, little new industry that's just creating. We're all filling our way around. I had one girl be like, I'm going to pay you more just because I think that you're worth more. And I was like, oh, that was very nice of you. And I was shocked. But it is, like, knowing the value of, like, the industry in general. But I do try to be respectful of, like, influencers, like, rates and stuff. Sorry.
That's very cool. That's awesome.
I didn't. Yes, thank you.
Well, Sarah, I'm sure that you're looking for more male bloggers to shoot with because you do work with a lot of girl clients.
Yeah, definitely need to update that portfolio with some guys.
Definitely hit her up. SWolfPhoto on Instagram. hello@swolfphoto.com.
Yeah.
Grab email. And we shot with her, like we said, a year ago. It was great. So definitely check her out. Awesome.
All right.
All right.